Do you need a safe backup plan or even a college education if you are an aspiring business owner? Hey, my name is Lauren Simpson, and my channel is all about maximizing your time and talents as a small business owner. So if you're looking to grow your business to become full-time and want some tips and tricks, make sure to subscribe down below. The short answer, no, you don't need a college education, and you may not need a safe backup plan. But there are instances where either or both of these things can help you to become a better business owner. I'm going to share my personal journey on this in hopes of helping you on yours. When I was on my way to becoming a full-time business owner, I did end up going to college and I had a lot of part-time jobs. I expand a bit on this in my previous video about how I became a full-time professional makeup artist if you'd like to check that out in the cards. Long story short, I ended up going to community college because I wanted to save some money, especially since this wasn't my end goal. I ended up graduating with an associate's in general studies as well as an associate's in early childhood education. At this point, I had spent 4 years in community college because originally I was there for a different major and I had to switch, and so it kind of took a little bit longer. This is where it gets a little gray area. This is definitely not a black and white answer kind of question. So to be honest, these days I don't use my college degree at all. Sure, maybe it'll come in handy when I have kids, but professionally, it's not making me any money. But at the time, it did help me for what it's worth. I went on to become a nanny for a few years, and I also worked full-time in a daycare for a few years. So while that wasn't the be-all end-all and that didn't end up becoming what was my full-time career and my real aspiration in life, it did help me financially at the time. Personally, I can say it helped me financially, especially because I went to community college where it is generally a lot cheaper than a state or a private college. So I didn't have massive student debt, as well as I was working while I went to college, so any kind of student debt that I did accrue, I was able to pay off pretty quickly, on top of things like a couple small scholarships that I was awarded. Some instances that I think a college degree could be even more beneficial than it was for me is if it pertains to what you are trying to do in business. For example, if you are trying to set up a marketing agency, it's probably a really good idea to go to college for marketing. If you are a nurse midwife, for example, you already went to college for several years to become a nurse midwife, but now you want to educate the masses on how to become a midwife, the pros and cons of it, things like that. This could be creating content, this could be selling an ebook. The options are limitless. But obviously for something like that, you will have needed a college education. But there are a lot of things that you could be self-taught for nowadays. Becoming a copywriter is a great example. And although in things like makeup and skincare and hairdressing, you do need a license nowadays, that isn't necessarily college. That's more of like a 1 or 2 year program at a trade school. So you can also look into trade school as an option if you don't want to go to college. Me personally, I made a full-time business in a trade as a makeup artist, so I definitely recommend looking at trades because they are slept on. An alternative to the safe backup plan could be working freelance jobs while you are building your business. These kind of jobs can range from something like DoorDash, Instacart, Postmates, Grubhub, to things like babysitting and nannying. I have done pretty much all of what I just mentioned. I would love to expand on my experiences when it comes to things like DoorDash and Instacart and babysitting and all that kind of stuff while building a business. So if you want to see more on that, make sure to leave a comment down below. I had random part-time jobs as well as these odd 1099 jobs for years while I was building my business up. It's definitely doable. It can get a bit tricky, but it's doable. And trust me, it's important if you need some sort of income coming in while you're growing your business from the ground up and you can't pay yourself yet. Remember, don't feel any shame when it comes to having the backup plan. I'm here to tell you that technically you don't need a backup plan, but at the same time, like I said, it's not a black and white answer. So if you fall into the gray area and you need some sort of backup plan along the way, maybe you didn't, and now the economy worsened and inflation's crazy, and so now you need it again, hey, that's cool too. Becoming a full-time business owner is all about the ebbs and flows, baby. You gotta go with life, and sometimes life happens, and that's okay. Something that frustrated me to no end while I was on the way to building my business is when people would say that you are not a real business owner if you have to have a part-time job, another job, a full-time job. how many times can I say job in one sentence? I honestly feel like this is coming from a very privileged place because at the end of the day, life happens. And some people have kids when they're building a business. Some people have to keep a roof over their head and can't live with their parents, etc., etc. At the end of the day, you are a real business owner. If you are building a business, it doesn't matter if you're working on it 2 hours a week, 50 hours, or 100 hours a week. I understand the mindset of the people who are saying that you need to dive in and just do it and be fully committed. And I respect that hustle, and I respect people that give up everything to make their dreams come true faster. That is totally your choice. But at the end of the day, that's not how it happened for me. I started my business 12 years ago, and I became what I considered full-time in 2016, but I still had odd jobs for years after that. I'm going to leave you with this. Everything happens for a reason. That has been my quote my entire life, and it continues to resurface because it just makes so much sense. No matter the bad stuff I go through, the great stuff, and everything in between, it just makes a lot of sense. My business would not be where it is, or what it looks like, or how I live with it, or how much I make, if it wasn't for how I built it, which includes the time I put in. Sure, I could have probably built it faster. I could have been making more money faster. But there is something to be said about a slow burn and building it with passion and the right way the first way around. Remember, there is no one way to build a business. There's an infinite amount of ways to build your business. So at the end of the day, the point of this video was, do you need a safe backup plan, and do you need a college education? And like I said, it's a no, but it's a yes, because the answer is gray and fully depends on you. I'm not here to judge how you build your business. I'm here to cheer you on and help you along the way. So if you want to save some time and money and learn the tips and tricks that I have up my sleeve from being in business 12 years, make sure to subscribe down below. I'd love to have you. Now, what should we talk about next?